is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Thank you so much and a very good morning. My name is Uganda Semakula Ziksoka. Welcome to UBC TV. It is Good Morning Uganda Extra on this 11th day of August in this year 2022. Now the election in Kenya, of course, is still underway, and of course the counting, not the election itself, but of course the tallying, the counting, and we're just waiting to hear from the chairperson of the IEBC, Mr. Wafula Chebukati. UBC TV will of course ensure that we get there. Now tomorrow in Pan African Friday, we'll get into the in-depth of the election that just happened in Kenya and what we think the outcome should be. We just waiting and hoping that, of course, from what you see on the different media stations in Kenya, can't tell you what is happening in Kenya, but ultimately it has to be the IEBC, the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, that will declare the winner, and that will be preferably on the 15th or 16th, that's Monday or Tuesday next week, when Wafula Chebukati. Now, all the anxiety for all of you here in Uganda supporting Raila Amolo Odinga and all of you supporting William Samoei Ruto, you have to hold on and wait until the final moment, when the man of the moment, Wafula Chebukati, tells us what happens. Now, the conversation today on Good Morning Uganda will be on the day tomorrow, which is the International Youth Day. And joining me in studios this morning is Mr. Muhimbura Brian, and he is a district youth chairperson for Rwampara district. Welcome, Mr. Muhimbura.
Thank you so much, Mr. Semakura. Good morning, viewers. My name is Brian Muhimbura, a district youth chairman for Rwampara and a member of the National Youth Council.
Okay.
Bring you greetings from the youth of Rwampara.
Okay. Who is your member of parliament?
Rwampara, we have 3 members of parliament.
Okay.
One is the woman member of parliament, who is called Mole Asimwe.
Oh, Mole Asimwe is from Rwampara.
Yes,
I know Mole Asimwe.
Yes. Then we have Kankunda Amos.
For what constituency?
That is Rwampara constituency.
Okay.
Then we have Rwampara East, which is led by Julius.
Okay. So you have Rwampara East without Rwampara West?
No.
There is no Rwampara West?
We had the former one county called Rwampara County. So when they divided, they created East. Then we had to retain the former
Then somebody will claim for West. We are in Uganda. How do you have an East without a West?
I don't know. Yes. It is just a naming.
You see,
it is not about the demographics.
Oh yes, but my comrades, my friends from Toronto had that problem. When you have West Budama and you don't have East Budama, and it's one of the things that is causing them problems. I studied in Toronto College many years ago, and I was talking to my friends and telling them, how can you actually have West Budama and there is no East Budama, and this will actually cause you problems in the future. I was just a high school boy, and I'm seeing it play out now, that this man. So if you have East Rwampara, then somebody is actually now waiting to come out to West Rwampara.
Maybe if they just want the naming to change the county and say this is now Rwampara West, but which
eventually it will get there.
Is going to happen.
Eventually it will get there, because how would you have a Kato without a Waswa? I don't know how you name them in your
Yeah, it's the same. We have Kato and Kakuru.
Exactly. Now you can't say one of my sons is Kakuru.
But you can choose to name your son Kakuru even when you don't have, is not a twin.
But that's
is it a must?
Well, maybe you can. In Buganda, we can't call a Waswa without a Kato. You can't say my son is Semakula Waswa and there is no Semakula Kato. That would be a problem.
But anyway, for Rwampara, we are okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, let's pray. And of course, greetings to Mole, Amos, and who is the other?
Julius to see me.
And to see me.
Yes.
Okay. The elections in Kenya, before you get to all this, you are a youth, and from just general observation and general comment, don't get into details of what is happening in Kenya, but just a general comment on the election in Kenya.
The election in Kenya, it has been an interesting one. From the day maybe they started their campaigns, and we have tried to follow as the youth because this is a neighboring country, and of course we are in the integration, the East African community. These are youth that we interact with on daily in other spaces we meet in. So we have been following a bit, and it has really taught us a lot. That actually a lot of things can happen in an election that maybe up to the last day, it was on media that why is internet still on in Kenya? It was a very good indicator, and even the level of violence has not been so much as it used to be. So they've
learned from their past, you say?
Yes, yes. At least now they have improved so much. And as of today, we have youth from Uganda here who are in Kenya as observers, and they are really participating. Because this is whatever outcome, it affects all of us, not only Kenya. Last time when there was a lot of chaos, there were a lot of hikes in prices, the fuel prices. Now can you imagine if right now such happens again, and where we are right now in terms of fuel.
We're already struggling with fuel at 6,700.
Yes, now in case it happened again, like what happened last time,
2007,
then we would be having maybe 20,000 a liter of fuel. And also, we are looking at how do we build this maybe African Union, African integration, but more so here in East Africa. How do we strengthen our relationship? So whatever outcomes from Kenya, we pray that they are very good, and the competition has been healthy. And we have seen even up to today, no one knows who is winning. It really shows the intensity of the election.
Okay.
But as the youth, we have participated actually, both passively and actively.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. Now we'll get to the conversation of International Youth Day. Now we know that every 12th of August we celebrate that day internationally as the International Youth Day. And the day is tomorrow. It is your day. You're the youth chairperson for Rampara. Let's talk about the Youth Day itself. What should the youth out there appreciate about this day? For example, what do you think they should know about this day that is actually their day?
Okay, thank you so much. Now, the Union, the United Nations, the United Nations, they sat together, the member states, and by 1999, they came up and said we need to gazette this day for youth, and that's how they came up and said on 12th, every 12th August, we should be celebrating International Youth Day. And what do we achieve on International Youth Day? Here, the bodies, maybe the state and NGOs and whoever is in participation of the governing of this world, that's where they come and they have to review their commitments to the youth. What have they done in a year? What have they promised? And if they promise something, maybe on this International Youth Day, then you have a full year to implement. So when we have an International Youth Day, that's where we come to sit down and as the youth, we assess ourselves what has been achieved in this year. And we also put governments at task that this and this and this has not been done. And we also appreciate this and this, that it has been accomplished. And we also, these agencies have to sit down and also make a clear plan. This is about empowering the youth, economically, socially, and everything in that line. So International Youth Day, that's when we are supposed to come as youth and celebrate, and also put our challenges at the forefront. We come and discuss, because normally we have a youth week. And in that youth week, we run a lot of activities, including such dialogues. And we also have maybe camps, medical camps. We have maybe certain activities around climate change. So in that full week, we do a lot of intensive activities. And up to the last day, then we present. Normally in Uganda, it has been a norm that we have always had to present our memo to the president and all other government agencies in Uganda. But before the day, normally we would have a youth parliament. Because under National Youth Council, I'm a member of National Youth Council, we always have a parliament, which we call council. It is a representative of all districts in Uganda.
Okay.
You come together and bring ideas, and you bring whatever challenges youth are facing down there in our districts. So we sit down and of course discuss whatever, but at the end of the day, we are supposed to write a memo on what we think the government should do for us in that particular year.
Okay. Well, thank you. Now, this year's international theme is intergenerational solidarity, creating a better world for all ages. How do you decipher, how do you make meaning from this international theme? I know Uganda has its own theme, crafted for Uganda or custom for Uganda. But looking at the global theme, intergenerational solidarity, how do you understand that? How do you appreciate that? And how does that even make sense to the youth that you are leading in Rampara and of course in this country?
One of the great challenges from research, it has been found out that there is a word called ageism. And the word, that very term, or the meaning of that term, is what has caused a lot of challenges to different generations. That this is not only about the youth, but even the elderly, and also these middle-aged men and women. So to address that, of course, we all know what the youth can do. It is the youth at the forefront of everything. A country like Uganda, which has over 70% under the age of 30, you expect youth to be at the forefront of everything. So internationally, the UN sat and said, how do we address this challenge of ageism? How do we have different ages work together? So they said, let's have a theme about solidarity. The word solidarity means working together. So they said intergenerational solidarity. Let different generations come and actually work together. So for the case of the youth, we appreciate that we have our elders and also those are our fathers, but we also have the grandfathers. So how do we work with them so that we can have a better world for everyone? And you see the perspective these days, every age group has a different perspective on a certain age group. When you meet the youth, they'll be saying these are wazee, they should leave us. Their thinking maybe is no longer at our pace. When you meet the elderly, they look at the youth and say, these are bayaye. These are, you see, when we were growing up, our parents and where we are studying from in schools, our teachers used to tell us, if you meet an old man, and you are at a hilly place, and he has a bicycle, you should help and push. Or you hold for him a bag. But I don't think right now it is the same message being preached. And if you met, if a young man now met a grandman, an old man, yes, that he doesn't know, and tried carrying the bag for him, I don't think that old man would
allow,
because they would think maybe that the young man wants to run away with the bag. So we need to come back and see how do we help each other. If you are youth and you have that energy, how do you put it into use so that even the old man can benefit, but you are also not suppressed. It is very bad when you want to do something as a young man, because maybe you are below 25, they don't assess you from your maybe inability to do something, but they assess you from the age side. They say, no, you cannot do this. Of course, even the elder people that are complaining, when people are being retired at 60, they say, no, we can still drive. We think we have the brains to do this work. So how do we address those two things? How do we come to working together? This is about, man was made not to work in isolation, but to work in a group, to interdepend on each other.
Okay, very important. Now, that's the global theme, intergenerational solidarity.
Yes.
What's Uganda's theme for this particular year's celebrations?
Uganda, because it is also a member state under United Nations, so every country carries the global
international theme.
Yes. So for the case of Uganda, it is also having intergenerational solidarity, and also how do we work together for different ages. But also they came down and said, what is it there that we can easily handle? And they said they proposed another theme, which is intergenerational solidarity, but how can youth, what is their role in implementation of parish involvement model? Because we all know this is the trending program of the government right now. That's what we are focusing on, and the government, that's what it is theme for the youth of Uganda. What is our role in the implementation of parish involvement model? But you see all these two themes, they come at the right time for a country like Uganda. As I said earlier, we are either the first or the second. We compete with Niger in terms of who is young, who has the youngest population in the whole world. And of course, when you have such a young population, you would think, how do we have these young people work, put all that energy to work? We need, maybe this is a call to the government, to say 78% if they are young, below 30. That means they should have a big stake in whatever program is being designed and whatever decision is being implemented, is being taken from every level of government, starting from LC1 up to the national level. On paper, Uganda, we have the best representation in terms of youth, because every level we have actually a committee. We have
at all levels?
Yes, from LC1. We have a committee of 9 people at LC2. Even in these councils, however much the representation might not be good, maybe in the council, because we only have 2 youth, male and female, at the sub-county council, at the district council, and 5 members of parliament representing youth at the parliament level. But on paper, you can see the representation is there. But are these structures functional? When you go and assess what has the sub-county youth council done in the last 2 years that has been in power, is it there? What budget are they running? I was surprised you that the whole year, one of my sub-counties in Rwampara runs a budget of less than 400,000.
A sub-county?
Yes, for youth. I mean, that's a youth budget.
How much should it have been?
Yes?
How much should it have been?
How much should it have been? Mr. Semakula?
I don't know. I don't stay in Rwampara.
No, 400,000 in a year cannot even have 2 meetings, come just to discuss.
How much is it for a meeting? I don't know. Me, I'm not in Rwampara.
No, it is not about you being in Rwampara.
That's what I'm saying, because I don't know.
You can imagine.
I need you who comes from Rwampara to actually
No. This is the problem, that 400,000 cannot even, it cannot even be a budget for someone, for even 1 month. But you are saying, at the district level, have 800,000 a quarter to do activities as a youth group. What impact do you think we would have? As the youth, we want to be the champions of most of the things which are affecting the youth.
So you think?
That's how it's supposed to be. That's not what I think. And this has been tested, by the way. It has been tested in Uganda that when you look at the current government, when they came into power. Maybe apart from the president himself, who was in 40, the rest were all youth, most of them. We had an army commander who was 29 years of old. If you know the sensitivity of that position, and can we say they failed? They have worked. When you look at me, you think I cannot be a commissioner somewhere?
No, you see,
So we need youth
I don't like those conversations of the comparisons of the youth today and the youth then.
No. What we are saying
Yes,
is...
I understand.
What we are saying is...
I understand,
the youth...
but you'll agree with me
Yes.
that the youth of your generation are not the youth of the Muntu generation, the Besigye generation.
we are not comparing, but because
exactly.
we have not had
The
platform.
Obotes of 1960 are not the Obotes of today.
No.
The Musevenis of that time.
In fact,
are
we
not the
believe
Musevens
in
of today.
science. Because, you know, these days the president has said we all do sciences. So
except me.
we shall say in science that we expect the coming generations, every generation that comes, to be better than the past generation.
It's a good thinking.
No, it's not just thinking.
It's a good thinking.
It is about research, because we know we evolution. Because if the early man was using stones and he was
now the evolution
writing,
theories, the evolution,
now we have technology,
evolution theories are what will actually cause us issues. we have the parish development model,
yes,
and when you talk about the Ugandan theme this particular time round, it is crafted along that, the role of the youth. Now we've had quite a number of initiatives to help the youth. Youth Venture Capital Fund, the YLP, the Youth Enterprise Scheme, yes. We've had Skilling Uganda, we've had the BTVET, now the TVET. We have all these, very many of them that have all come here purposely to see what happens, especially with the youth. Now we want to examine the role of the youth in implementing the PDM. I did my thinking. Do the youth even understand what the PDM is? Do they even know what the PDM is? Do they even have a difference between the PDM and Emyoga and what is the other? There was another one. There was Emyoga and there was another one, I think, before the PDM. Do they even have a difference in all these different government programs or schemes that are on here? And specifically for this particular one that we talk about, the PDM, do the youth even understand what the PDM is? I do not know how many parishes are in Rampara. 31 parishes.
Yes.
Now, 31 parishes, and I'm thinking every parish in Rampara has got a youth.
Yeah, true.
And how many people in Rampara, in the 31 parishes in Rampara, know even actually what is happening in Rampara? Do they even know whether there is any money that has come to Rampara in any of the 31 parishes? Do they even understand, appreciate anything about the PDM, which is actually there now? When you talk about the PDM, you're talking about a model for 31 parishes in one district called Rampara. And I'm only thinking whether the youth in Rampara, in the 31 parishes here, even know that there is this program for them, and maybe there is anything working or happening, and its implementation, for example.
One, I need to thank the government for already thinking about the youth of Uganda, because you have mentioned a lot of programs which have been put in place to maybe to uplift the economic status of the youth of this country. I want to thank President Museveni in particular, because he has been at the forefront of championing the youth agenda. And most of these programs, they have not actually stemmed from the local discussions or maybe at the parliament level, but most of them have come from the president himself. So I really want to thank him for that. However, we shall ask what has been going on in all those programs that you have mentioned. What has been going on under Youth Livelihood Program, Emyoga, maybe Youth Capital Venture Fund? Have they done to the expectation of the youth of this country, or citizens of this country? What has gone wrong? And why now come and maybe with another program in the same design? I would say that some youth actually benefited from these programs, maybe not to the level that we expected. The YLP it was, you put a lot of people in a cluster. Maybe you need 10 people to receive 12 millions. You know, when money just comes in that way, people, at times they say, let's group and go and receive money from the government, and we just use it the way maybe we want. We share and we go. Because they have not taken time to actually go down there and ask what can these youth in this particular area do with money. You know, when you generalize, we need to start having tailored solutions to particular problems. That if you need a nice suit, you go to the tailor, they measure you and give you that suit that fits you. So when we have a certain program which cuts everywhere, that you want parish model to be maybe for everyone, even people in Kampala, and it is more about what you are producing in terms of agriculture, it might not help everyone. However, I will not say it is a failed program, because some of the groups will receive and they will benefit. But you know, this year we had said we live, when we go to the Bible, we live reading the book of Lamentations. We start reading Acts, so that we don't lament every time. But you will know that that's why I don't want to keep complaining that government here. But the level of involvement of the youth, to which level? Because we have youth leaders at every level, as I said. But you will look at a program like Parish Development Model. When they were designing it, what was the input of the youth leadership? Maybe at the national level, and maybe the youth MPs. What were their input? Were they also consulted? Because we have said we are young and we are many. And this program is going to target the youth. It is, Parish Development Model is not a youth program. But if you have all the youth
precisely
here.
Exactly. And you see, now that's where my biggest issue comes in. You are talking about consultation before the program is made.
Yes.
To tailor it for the people, to actually know the needs of the people. Now, at all levels in this country, we have a youth representative.
Yes.
Mr. Muhimbura, you are the Rampara district chairperson.
Yes.
Now, you are one of the 147 chairpersons in all districts of Uganda.
Yes, yes.
And I'm thinking now, you have 31 parishes.
Yes.
Now, every parish, I think, has got a youth leader.
Yes,
just right there.
Yes, yes.
There's a system.
Yes.
There's a decentralized system that that leader in parish X, Y, Z, A, B, C find a way of talking to themselves, come, up to the parliament where we have...
the youth MPs.
Yes, who is the youth MP for Western Uganda?
It's called Edson Rugumayo.
Now until Rugumayo.
Yes,
so I'm only thinking, did Rugumayo pick any thoughts from you? Did Rugumayo pick it? Because it comes and Rugumayo is in parliament, Rugumayo is going to talk about the parish development model when they are passing it and doing all the things to it. Rugumayo comes, and when we see Rugumayo, the thinking is Rugumayo has carried what Rampara wants, Rugumayo has carried what Kazo wants, Rugumayo has carried what Rushere wants, Rugumayo has carried every thought from Barara, from from that entire region called Western that Yakole exactly represents in parliament. Would you want to say now the parish development model is here? We are the majority as a youth, but we even have no ideas. We even have no input. Exactly. Who do you want to choose if you are the leaders? Because you at your level, at the district, I don't know where you take your ideas to. I don't know.
Okay.
And I think you have regional leaders.
Yes, yes.
Yes, exactly.
No, we don't have.
You don't have regional leaders.
Yes.
So it is district, then you go to parliament.
No, we have an independent body called the National Youth Council.
Yes.
We have it starts from LC1
exactly
up to the national.
Yes.
The MPs are not. They are ex-officials
of the councils.
I
appreciate that.
They are not. We have a supreme body at the national called National Executive Committee of the National Youth Council.
Exactly.
But it works hand in hand.
So how do you get your views to parliament?
Now our views is of course these are the MPs. They are supposed to get from this constituency because actually we are the ones who vote them.
Yes.
So this is their constituency. They are supposed to take
they are ex-officials
to our councils to pick their views.
Exactly.
Yes.
But I'm only thinking, how do you now get the issues of the youth from Rampara? to Parliament?
To Parliament.
As youth, yes.
Now, from Rwampara, that's why I'm saying we are supposed to be having a parliament for the youth at the national level. It is called National Youth Council, convening all these districts. Then it is these MPs who are supposed to
pick from there.
Pick from there. But
so you as Mr. Muhimbra,
from the regions, the MPs are, as you know, I would not go into discussing the impact of these youth MPs also, because that's also a very big discussion. That from Chiriandongo up to Kabale, up just one person.
Precisely. Yes, precisely. You're one member of parliament representing 20, 30, 40 districts.
Yes.
Yes.
And it is it the right representation? Because you see in Uganda, we have around 12 million youth in Uganda, and you have only 5 representatives. We have around 13 million women. We have over 140 women in parliament. So are we saying youth are really represented, or these are just positions which are put there, but everyone knows the impact, they might not serve the right impact? In fact, we are saying, why don't we have a youth MP every district?
Okay. And
maybe we scrap off the constituency MPs. We have one MP representing youth, one for women, and maybe another one for everyone.
Well, that's just another very good one. And the other question would be, of course, we're going to go for a break and return. Why not even scrap away youth MPs? Because can't the woman MP represent the youth? Because apart from being youth, you can find a woman member of parliament who is younger than the youth MP.
That's very true. But there is a reason why they brought what they call special interest groups.
And the women are special.
Yes, and that's why they have 140 something women in parliament. Then also the youth, they are supposed, and because they are big in number,
then we will have 140 elders.
No. We are looking at numbers. The representation should be about numbers. We have less than 12% who are elders.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Muhimbra. We'll take a break and return shortly thereafter. And of course, the number to send your constants, text messages, WhatsApp messages is on your screen just right there. +256 750 20 20 26. Ask us a question. Ask Mr. Muhimbra a question. Ask him anything that you want to know about issues of the youth. He represents the youth of Rwampara district. And we talk about the International Youth Day that is happening tomorrow. A question here is from Rwampara, saying, until today, we don't know where the national celebrations are going to be. Now, this is from somebody who is in Rwampara. I'll read the text message to you when we come back from the break thereafter.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
National Council for Higher Education will hold the 4th Annual Higher Education Conference on the 14th and 15th September 2022. The conference theme is Enhancement of Teaching, Learning and Assessment with Ordeal in Higher Education. The guest of honor will be the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. The conference will be held physically at Hotel Africana for only invited guests and open to online participants via Zoom webinar that will be shared under the events section at www.unche.or.ug. The keynote speakers are Ezra Nazim, Senior Fellow of Higher Education Academy UK, Professor Henk Gerald Sola, a Dutch organizational theorist and Emeritus Professor of Business, Engineering and ICT at Groningen University, the Netherlands. The National Council for Higher Education is receiving papers from researchers and scholars for publication in the Uganda Higher Education Review, Journal of National Council for Higher Education. For more details, send inquiries to cmuhumuza@unche.or.ug, info@unche.or.ug, or call 0783 040024 or 0704 800926 +256 39 32 62 140/4.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number and you send it to her chap chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Oli musiru.
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera. Refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
Enjoy more GBs for the same price on Airtel. Shareable using to Gabonais. We have increased GBs across all your favorite packs. Now, 4 GB is at 10,000 shillings and 10.5 GB at 22,500 shillings, all valid for a week. For the heavy data users, enjoy 24 GB at 50,000 shillings and 50 GB at 100,000 shillings, all valid for a month. Dial *175# or use the My Airtel app to buy these and more affordable weekly and monthly data bundles on Airtel, the smartphone network.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Well, thank you so much and welcome back from the break. My name is Uganda Semakola Siksoka. We've been through this Mr. Muhimbura Brian, the District Youth Chairperson for Rampara District, of course, here with me. Talk about the International Youth Day celebrations. And just before we took a break, Mr. Muhimbura here is advocating for a youth MP for every district because it is it is an SIG, and we remove the constituency MPs.
Yes, and we have 3 MPs, one for women, another one for youth, and then another one for everyone.
Oh, okay. So that everyone also now becomes an interest group.
No. Yes. The way we have, we have maybe in a district 5 MPs for different constituencies. We can have now 1 MP representing all those. Instead of having each constituency with an MP, we have
Kampala has about 10 or 12 members of parliament.
Yes.
So Kampala becomes a Shamim Marende for women.
Yes.
And maybe we mix all the others now. Nsereko for Central, all these others for Rubaga North, Rubaga East, Rubaga whatever. Then we get one out of them.
Yes. It works that way. Yes. We have one of them and we have another one for the youth. Because we are talking about 78%. And actually, I think it is high time
and how many members of parliament will those be?
It will be less than the current.
No, it can't be.
It can't.
Because you're talking about 147 times 3.
Times 3, yes. Those are around 400 something. We have a parliament of over 500 right now.
Yeah, but you see, the others now still come. You have 10 UPDF. You'll have the elders. You'll have.
Yeah, no, they can't even make 100. Those ones you are talking about. In fact, it is going to have a perfect representation, but it is not going to be even bigger than the current parliament that we have.
So the numbers reduce.
We shall have around 143. 400. We shall have around 400. 20 something members of parliament. You add 10 for UPDF. You add around 5 for elderly. It is still going to be less than 500. Yet right now we have a parliament which is bigger than 500. And we shall have perfect representation. You see, when you have young people, you should have. You see why we have so many MPs here in Kampala? It is because we have a lot of people in the city. So even if it is a sub-county or a division, it already has a population equivalent to a full district out there. Exactly. So the same thing that we have a population which is around...
That's what the argument is going to be.
Yes.
Now, if you have a district like Karenga, Karenga in Karamoja region.
Yes.
Now, if you have a district like Karenga and it has a population of about 20,000 people.
Yes.
And you have one Kawempe that has over 500,000 people almost, or hundreds of thousands of people, and you have a whole Kampala of about 2 million people, and they have one representative. Would you be fair if you talk about representation and fair representation?
No, you see, Mr. Semakura, when you look at fair representation, we shall say these people, you can have a special interest. You see, when you are framing these acts of parliament and whatever procedures they take, you are supposed to, okay, when they say Kampala is a special interest, you can still have 3 MPs. But what I'm saying is that the number will be contained, the current number of MPs. If we did that for all the districts, Kampala, you can call it a special interest because it has those millions of people, and you still have maybe 4 MPs within Kampala. But then how about these other districts? Anyway, it's not that it is now a fight between the constituency MPs,
exactly.
But it was a suggestion.
Okay.
2, we also need to have maybe a full-fledged ministry, even if we don't have these MPs.
Okay.
We should have a ministry which is looking at youth matters.
The ministry for youth?
Yes,
do you have
for
that?
youth. No, we just have a ministry for gender, and we have a subset of maybe a state minister. It's just a state minister for youth and children affairs. We don't have a full-fledged ministry for youth.
So you even want a full-fledged ministry?
It is supposed to be there with the PS, with the
having
minister.
a state minister under gender, labor, and social development.
It is not enough.
Is
no,
another thing.
No.
You don't like that. Okay.
It is not. It is
no,
not
the
enough.
country should now be given to you, the youth. Because
No, because no. We are talking about numbers, and of course we need to be handled.
The question is here from Mr. Basil Tumwine.
Yes.
He said, "Thank you so much for the program, but I would like to ask Brian to discuss the extent to which politicization of youth programs has affected the youth participation in the national and in the national youth days. The politicization of youth programs." There's a lot of politics, I think, in that. Talk about that. Mr. Tumine here says that. And another question here is from somebody here says, "Good morning, UBC. This is Patrobas Arinda from Rampara. Let this country have a youth MP, and Uganda should target youth employment or youth employing youth." Now, maybe I think he's agreeing with you, but and he's one of your friends or one of your people in there from Arinda from Rampara.
Yes, I know.
And he's watching.
Arinda.
You know Arinda.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody here also says something, and Kanso Kachinda Male, he's my road now. Kanso Kachinda Male is my old boy. He's watching and he appreciates you. He says thank you very much. Thank you, Kanso Male Kachinda Najib. Thank you so much for the program, and I'm watching live in Chitojo, Bugamba, Rwampara, Muhimbra. Brian, you're a good leader. Now, somebody here says you're a good leader. Another here says, until now, good morning, Uganda. My name is Solomon Atonjeire, and I'm in Rwampara, also watching our youth chairman. My question to him is, we are aware that our day is tomorrow, but up to now, we don't know where the national celebrations will be held. Otherwise, thank you so much for the great job, and thank you, UBC, for giving us space. That's what he says. Somebody here says, I also want to participate, but I think participating in the National Youth Day, I don't know how to even participate and what kind of participation you want to even do. And well, lots more coming in. Mr. I am Bukenya Richard from Rwampara town. We made the enterprise group by now, and we haven't received money as we the youth to engage in agriculture to transform ourselves from poverty to wealth. The season has started. What is going on, Mr. Chairman? Somebody here says they have a group and they want to know. You talk about youth issues, but people are not even receiving money. We are a group of 5 scattered in different parts of Uganda, but plan to do agriculture in Arua. Is it possible for us to access the parish development model? His name is Peter and he's in Kampala. Well, there are quite a number, but let's just respond to this few and get ourselves out of here.
We shall. I will thank everyone who is watching, especially the youth of Rwampara and all the youth of this country. Let me start maybe with the question of when is the
celebrations.
The celebrations. Of course, we have been having all celebrations on the 12th of August. As I said earlier, we could have a council, a parliament for youth for different leaders from different districts a day before, so that we have our views and we also write a memo to present on the youth day as the youth council. One, we have not had that, we are not having the youth council. Two, we are not having the International Youth Day celebrated tomorrow. As of today, we are supposed to be in council right now discussing matters of the youth so that we present to them. And the challenge has been one, or is one until today, that youth matters at times, I don't know whether the government takes them lightly, because this is a day which is on the calendar. You have the ministers meet and say it is there in Gulu. But another cabinet meeting the following week says we don't have funds, we can postpone by 2 weeks, but that one is also in speculations. This is not something which is abrupt, but we know we are in a developing country and maybe resources might not be enough. But if it is something that has been there, it should always be planned and given priority. In fact, we are not happy at all about that. So I will answer that. We don't have a Youth Day celebrations tomorrow, but we hope that they will be there on a day which will be communicated officially. Yes. And also council, we are supposed to see it. Also the same thing, money. It is about money, money, money. And can you say we don't have money in this country? We have, but we should, the government, they need to improve much on how they take youth issues seriously. Two, earlier you had asked me the impact of parish model. Do they know, do the youth know? In fact, and also I had someone asking that if they are scattered 5 in different areas, can they come together? That's why I said there should always be consultations from different areas before they come up with these programs, if they want them to work for the target group. Parish model.
1 minute. Let's just help Peter. Peter, who is in Kampala, but says they want to implement a program in Arua.
Yes.
It's a parish model.
Yes.
It's modeled out of a parish.
Yes.
And you're from Nakasero parish in Kampala. Another is from a Diofe parish, maybe, in Arua. Another is from some parish in Namwendwa, maybe Kamuri. How would you do that?
They want them to...
yeah, but how would you do? It is even defeating the purpose itself, because it's a parish model. Yes. Model. How would you want to be from different places?
I think those ones could benefit from other programs in case they were there. But particularly for parish model, it is parish...
It's parish-based.
Parish-based. But it also has loopholes for the youth. One, I will tell you that they talk about a clear defined household when you are implementing this parish model. Me and you know that some youth, they actually don't have clear defined households. These are youth, maybe someone has single mothers, someone is staying alone, they are just trying to struggle and have maybe something to the table. We have youth who are right now independent of their families because of whatever issues they have, because as you know, all communities have issues, but they want you to be in an organized family to benefit. It will not serve for the youth. Also, we have youth who don't have national IDs. And here, you know, it is a must. And of course, it is not their problem. Some of them registered, national IDs have not come. You know, there's also those issues. And when it becomes so restrictive in that manner, and people who are supposed to be benefiting, this parish model, it is targeting a certain group of youth and a certain group of citizens of Uganda. But it is not addressing the big issue of unemployment. Me and you, we know very well that most of Uganda has done very well in terms of educating the youth, and of course these other issues of what we learn, are we putting it into practice, is also another issue. But at least people are educated now, but the level of unemployment is too high. These are youth who don't have land back home. These are youth who are not who cannot produce because they don't have capital. But you want them under parish model that youth are supposed to benefit. How many youth who are staying down there in their homes? You come at the university at Makerere, Barra University where I studied from, you graduate, then you go back to do agriculture. Where? if they had maybe a big land where they can do commercial, because when we go to school, we start thinking, I can also maybe live a good life, can have a nice family, I can have a nice house, drive a nice car. You go and do subsistence agriculture to have that? You cannot. So it is addressing a certain group of youth, but we have a lot of unemployed youth and who cannot go and benefit from parish model. That's why we are saying government should do enough of consultations from these groups, the special interest groups. Why not have a full-fledged bank for the youth?
Hey, you even talk about a bank?
Yes.
Well, I brought the chairman.
You see, you are talking about the youth livelihood capital venture fund. So to access a loan in Centenary, you need collateral, which may be a land type.
Yeah, but you see,
how do you get?
Yes, but you see, when they brought the youth venture capital things that needed,
it was not helping the youth who are supposed to benefit.
And that's why the YLP came.
The YLP?
The YLP came because youth venture capital was not tenable for every youth.
Yes.
Then it was left for you now, the Makererians, you who go to Makerere, who had studied Makerere, who actually knew what to even do with that.
But you know, they also don't have land titles.
But that was another thing. Exactly, but that was another thing.
You couldn't access.
Then when they brought what does not need collateral, you still failed it.
No.
They came with 12.5 million shillings for you to go and rear goats.
For 10 people? For 10 people?
Yes, but
that's when you put in operation cost transport here, it is less than
$1
million for an individual. What can $1 million do transform a life of an educated man who wants to start maybe a small business dealing in funds?
Our time has run out. The problem was thinking that you're supposed to divide this money amongst yourselves, because
that's what they end up doing when it can. You know, there is a slogan which says, if that money cannot solve your problem, that's the money. That's what happens.
That is the mentality that you came with into the program. You are given money to go and rear pigs. You're given money to go and do poultry. You're given money to go and do all the things. And the youth, the YLP was one of the best programs that this government has ever brought for the youth. I studied it, I knew it, I saw it, and I could actually predict that this would be one of the best. But you see, the mentality that we have is you have 12 million shillings, or even 7, and you're saying, okay, now me, I'm even a man with a young family, I have my girlfriend somewhere, and so we start dividing the money. Some of you got the money, you went to marry women, you went to do all the things and everything.
That's true.
That's where the problem
That's
came.
true.
But we'll stop it here.
Ndugu
Muhimbra.
Yes.
I will ask that we find time.
Yes.
Come back again and talk about youth issues. But I want to thank you so much.
Maybe before.
Finally, we need to be out of here in the next 1 minute.
One, I will appreciate that these government programs, which always come, they help. By the way, they help so much. It is a bad perspective that they say all youth have eaten that money. But I will take you to Ampara and show you that some
where
groups,
the youth ate the money.
No, where the youth use that money and they are
profitably.
And they are still benefiting. So that shouldn't be a reason why government should always say youth they mismanage. But we have these who have managed very well, and it has helped. But also we need to have involvement of the youth in every program, especially if it is targeting the youth.
And if anybody wants to disorganize
parish model, you have a district monitoring team, but you don't have anyone representing the youth. But maybe you have a youth at the parish level on the program. It is not going.
If anybody wants to cause mayhem in this country, I think you should give you a youth bank.
Yes, and we have a youth bank with good terms, and we have all these youth
trouble. Bring the bank and we fight forever.
No, we shall have these youth who can easily get money, and they can start ventures.
Well, I want to thank Mr. Muhimbra, the district youth chairperson for Ampara. Thank you so much for being with me here. And of course, in Kenya, it is too close to call. It is too close to call. The race is very tight between Raila Amolo Odinga of the Azimio coalition and William Arap Samoei Ruto of the UDA Kenya Kwanza coalition. It is still too close to call, but let's wait and see what happens. Wafula Chebukati will finally tell us who the next president of Kenya will be after the election that was held on Tuesday this week. My name is Jagana Semakola Ziksoka, wishing all the very best for God and my country. Shalom and good morning. Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.